I love my life. 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 No, no.
Hey guys, it's Traveling R and Kimmy here. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I am going to go over my pay stub. I have completed 3 weeks so far in my new travel nursing contract. And also, I have gotten the opportunity to pretty much see what I'm going to be getting on this new contract. The orientation for me was 1 week. I had 2 days of like hospital orientation, and then after following that, then I had 2 days of unit orientation, and then the following week I was on my own. And I've been on my own for I think about 4 or 5 shifts now, so I have a pretty good idea about what I'm supposed to be going throughout this entire contract. So let's get to the basics. Let's first go over our pay stubs because I know that's what a lot of people want to know. So basics, I get $21 an hour at this travel nursing contract. I get $21 an hour. I get $70 an hour for overtime. And my housing stipend for 3 shifts is $880. And then my meals and incidentals is $539.86. That is for 3 shifts in the entire week. Now, if you do miss a shift, you don't get the meals and the stipends for the housing. So that's a good thing to keep in mind when you're doing your contract. When you decide that you're going to call off, you don't get paid your entire thing just because you call off, and there's no PTO. So just a thought to throw out there for those of you who haven't been travel nursing and you're interested in that information. So like I said, I did 40 hours my first week, which included orientation, but it doesn't really make a difference with my pay. It's just I get an hourly rate and I get my stipend for showing up for those 36 hours. So that's what I get. Now, my total pay after they took out taxes was $2,251.17. Taxes was $133.19. And then I personally, so I'm doing something different this contract compared to all the other contracts that I've done. This time I'm having a few deductions taken out of this paycheck. This time around, I'm trying to be more smart. I'm trying to be more financially savvy, as we like to say, because not only is it just me at this point, like I said, I have a son. So I'm trying to plan accordingly and making sure things are aligned properly this time around as we continue into the career. So for the deductions, for my 401k, I have a 401k Roth with the company. I take out 5%. My goal is to take out 10% once I pay off my bills, but I haven't gotten to that point. So where we are is we're at 5%. So we take out 5% for my 401k Roth, which is $48.22. I'm also taking out child life insurance, which is only 68 cents. Taking out dental, which is $15. Also taking out life insurance for myself, which is $5.77. This time around, which is so different for me, which I'm super excited about, this time around, I have signed up for an HSA. And with that, I put in $200 every single paycheck until I've maxed out. Now, based on my calculations, I should max out by November next year, but it may or may not be that case because I do plan to take off at least 2 weeks in the entire 50 weeks of the year. So 52 weeks of the year. So my plan is to take off at minimum 2 weeks. I know I want to take off a week after this contract, and I probably will take another contract, 2 more contracts, and then take another week off. But we'll see. Can't plan anything right now, but that's the idea. So like I said, 200 goes to HSA. And then I'm also paying an increased amount for my medical. So the top tier is 103.50, and that includes me and my son. And vision, which I've never paid for, is $1.40 also. I can't tell you if I've been to get my eyes checked like since I was a kid. But a wise person told me I should probably get my eyes checked. Not that I have any issues, but you know, it's just one of those adulting things. You need to get everything checked out. But with that being said, my deductions total is $374.79. That gets taken out of my full pay. And so as far as after my deductions, my take home is $1,876.38. So that's what I received on this paycheck. Like I said, that does include 40 hours and not 36. So give or take a few dollars. We will see on my, because I did receive another paycheck. I did take a day off last week, and my paycheck is significantly different. That, which I'll let you guys know, because you know I'm all about pay transparency. So with taking off one shift out of my my week, my paycheck went down to $1,073.42. So like I said, the stipends and incidentals, that you do not get those when you take off a shift. You only get your hourly rate, and you get paid for 2 of those shifts. So that is $800 less, guys, for losing one shift. So really think about what you want to do, what you're willing to like lose when it comes to like these contracts. Okay, so now that we've talked about money, let's talk about the experience so far. Now, travel nursing has been wonderful. It's always been wonderful. I absolutely love it. Now, travel nursing in the NICU compared to travel nursing in the ER is so different. Other than the job being different in itself, the travel nursing part is also different, because when I worked in the ER and I did trauma, when I went to another hospital, a lot of the times in all of the hospitals minus one, I always worked in trauma. And they just put me there just because I have the certificate. I obviously have the qualifications to do it. So they put me in traumas. And some of those experiences, as you know, like one of my contracts was so bad in the trauma area that I decided that's what really caused me to leave the ER and decided to go to the NICU finally, which I always wanted to do, but it just gave me the push I needed. Now, with the NICU travel nursing, it's completely different, because NICU, as you know, is neonatal intensive care unit. There are levels to the babies that we have. If we have a baby that is 23 weeks when they were born, so they start with us at 23 weeks and they stay with us until like 37 weeks, give or take. It could go to 39 weeks. I've had a baby that stayed with us till 39 weeks. Now, at that point, when they're 39 weeks, at that point, we're hoping that the goals at that point is feeding, learning how to feed, and gaining weight. So we do actually eventually end up having babies that are like almost like full-term babies that you wouldn't expect to be in the NICU, but they're still, like I say, they're still growing, or they're still learning how to feed. So normally towards that end, we try to give, and I feel like it might not be for everyone, but in the NICU, at least from where I worked, those babies we call them like feeders and growers, right? Those babies normally go to, for the most part, to the new grads, because they haven't learned the experience when it comes to ventilation and different type of respiratory machines. So with that, the new grads normally get those NICU babies. But the difference is with travel nursing, because each hospital have their own rules and regulation, Normally, the NICU nurses that are traveling, they don't get the critical babies. They actually get the feeders and growers because it's easier to pile up the feeders and growers compared to a baby that's on a vent. You don't want to give a nurse that has a baby on a vent 3 babies. It technically should be either 1-to-1, depending on how critical the baby is, or 2. Now, with the feeders and growers, you can actually go up to 3 to 4. Now, that is like, oh my gosh, to a lot of people, especially people who have never worked anywhere but the NICU. Having 4 patients can be very overwhelming. But like I said, I came from the ER, so it's not that big of a deal, honestly. But either ways, I've been getting the feeders and growers, and it has been kind of mind-blowing because I'm so used to like the critical thinking and doing all these things. And now that I'm just like literally just feeding the babies, and still you're still doing assessments. These are still babies, like especially if they are learning to feed. That is very serious because sorry, because these babies can become apneic. You need to know what to do. So there's still skills required for the feeders and growers, but it's obviously not like, it's not the same level as a baby that's on a vent. So that's different for me. I'm not used to like not getting those really critical small babies. I'm getting the big ones that are learning to eat and grow. And so far, I've actually only gotten 2 patients each shift that I've worked. Now, the census also is low at this hospital. So with that being said, the other thing that is 100% different for me is that I predict, because it hasn't happened yet, but I predict that I'm going to get, what's the word I'm looking for? Like sent to other units. And other units, particularly this hospital has PICU and pediatric intensive care unit, and they also have peds on the floor, and they also have the nursery. So I'm used to getting floated to the nursery. I mean, it's right there. But when I was at my old hospital, I only got floated to peds one time. And my hospital also had the rule where you can't get a kid over 1 year old. So that was nice because at least I know I'll still be getting babies. But with this hospital, the peds unit has everything. There was a 17-year-old with like sickle cell. There was a 11-month-old with sickle cell. There's so much on that unit that it's a little overwhelming. So this is definitely going to be a learning curve because I feel like I'm going to get floated a lot. Once I've been cross-trained to that unit, I feel like I will be getting floated because that peds unit is never staffed. Like, I swear, every day that I've been there so far, one of our nurses went there. So I feel like someone said to me that they float their travelers first, which I am not looking forward to that. But I've yet to be cross-trained, so they can't send me there yet. They've tried twice, but each time that they sent me there, I was literally there for like an hour, couldn't finish the training, obviously, and then they got new admissions. Like yesterday, they tried to send me there to cross-train, and I was only there for an hour because they got four patients. And with the 4 patients, they needed a nurse that could actually take those patients. So I swapped with another NICU nurse. I went back to the NICU. She went to peds. So that's one thing I am not looking forward to, but I feel like this could be a learning opportunity. I did peds ER, but peds ER is not like peds inpatient. It's not like peds PICU. It's not like PICU. So this could be a learning opportunity. I'm not going to dash it. I'm going to take it. I feel like God has brought a lot of things into my life, and even like the whole NICU experience has been mind-blowing for me. So I'm taking everything that I've been given and I'm trying to run with it. So with this assignment, I feel like I will be getting a lot more peds experience, and hopefully actually hope that I go to PICU more than peds, because like I said, I love the critical care. I love the critical care world. So that's where I kind of want to stay in. So yeah, that's where we're at. So far, so good. I have really loved working with the girls that I've been working with. And can I say, I feel like NICU don't staff men. Maybe that's just me, but I've never seen a NICU male nurse. Anyways, so far it's been good. I have learned a lot of comparisons. So I'm going to be making a video about that, like things that I don't do anymore. That kind of mind blows me. But yeah, it's still a learning experience. Every hospital is not going to be doing the same things. So it's just a learning curve, and we're just going to roll with it. So I will be making another video so I can compare and contrast the things that I've done at my old NICU compared to things that I were doing at this one. And yeah, it's just, we're just gonna roll with it. So I will see you guys in another video. I will continue to be making these weekly pay updates. I also want to go over like my budgeting with you guys, because we are going, we're here again, guys, and we're trying to be debt free, and I am going to become debt free in Jesus' name, amen. So I'm going to be making budgeting videos about how I manage my bills, and then I will be continuously making these weekly updates about how it's going, my expectations, what I've learned, and how much money I'm making, because we are in a critical era, guys. So we gotta grind. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful and blessed day.